This is Metastock. It's an application for viewing charts of stocks, creating indicators, and backtesting trading strategies. We can go to Tools, System Tester. Here we have the Power Console, which lets us test systems. This area has systems that can be tested. We have the Bollinger Bands based system and a system based on MACD, which stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. In the Instruments section, I've selected Apple's ordinary stock. Over here we have the option of selecting only long trades, short trades, or both. Since both is selected, this means that the system will take signals to both go long the stock as well as go short the stock when the system gives that signal. Here you can select the range. Currently selected is to use the last 250 records. And then if we look at the interval, that means it will look back 250 days and work on the daily charts. We can also select a certain range of times as well to go back to. Now we can go to Trade Options, and this allows us to look at certain options such as make it the testing more realistic by including slippage, which means getting slightly worse prices than are shown. These are the assumptions to make when you're looking at the historical prices to decide what you actually would have received. It's very important to make sure that your backtesting is not trading on information that it would not have known at the time. If you do that, you get unrealistic results. That would be too positive. This allows you here to set interest rates. So if you had to borrow money from the broker, it would account for that, those interest payments. And here you have commissions, which would be payments to your broker each time you execute a transaction. Those are currently 0. You can set the initial equity that you're trading with and then the size in which you would execute your transactions. Now we can go to Start System Test to have it calculate for us. The simulation is completed. Since this is a limited number of records, it calculates fairly quickly. We can go to View Results. Here we see these are both generated positive returns, with the MACD generating more positive returns. We can now go here, click on it, and select View to see further details. Here we see a number of different performance characteristics, comparison to the buy and hold results, the total profit in dollars earned by the system, performance, which is the profit relative to the initial equity, the total trades executed by the system, as well as further detail on the number of profitable and unprofitable trades, how far the market moved in your favor or against you while you had an open position before you closed that particular position out, as well as certain other statistics about this, such as how much was spent in total on commissions. And remember, we have that set to 0. You can also see the summary of the system, as well as the formula behind when it generates the buy and sell signals. This can also be edited to create your own custom systems. You can change both the parameters of the system, which would be the numbers that are fed into it, as well as the actual logic of the trading system itself. We go to the equity tab, we can see the equity curve, which is the total value of all open and closed positions at each point in time for each of the 250 days. If we go to positions, we can see detail on which positions were taken when they were opened and when they were closed. And under orders, we have a list of buy and sell orders, as well as some that were not executed. Now we can go to plot on chart, and then discard, and close this window. Here we can see both the equity curve of our MACD trading system, as well as the actual prices here, shown as with the open, high, low, and close format of each trading day. And then drawn onto the chart are the buy signals and sell signals. So we see when the system in fact wanted to go long and when the system wanted to go short. And you can see this flat section here indicates that there were no trades and no positions. As a result, the equity does not change. And then here, this buy here corresponds to the first time the equity line moves. Notice that certain trading systems require a certain number of data points prior before they have enough signals to execute the trade. And on the bottom, it shows trading volume in the stock. Certain trading systems are based on the price movement, and other trading systems can be based on other information that's available, including volume. It's important to realize when you're backtesting that it's a simulation of the past, and over a limited data set, it's definitely possible to find a trading system that would work. It's important to do the tests of different trading systems with different parameters on different periods of time, and then when you find something that seems to be capturing certain logic about the market, to perform other tests to rule out systems that will not be profitable going forward. For example, one of the risks is over-optimization. It's possible to have the computer iterate through all of the possible parameters to find the combinations that are most profitable. However, it's important to understand that there's always some parameter that should be profitable, and you need to recognize this. So we can go into this detail here. I opened up the system tester again, went to Bollinger Bands. I'm going to uncheck the MACD system, and I'm right clicking on it and then selecting edit. Here, this allows me to change certain aspects of the system. I'm going to go to optimizations, the tab on the right. Actually, this trading system does not have optimizations. Let me switch back to the MACD, edit. Move over to the moving average system. And here, you can see that this has two different variables which can be optimized by the system. We have the first one is a shorter term moving average and the longer term moving average. Since this is a moving average crossover system, it looks for the shorter term moving average to cross the longer term moving average in order to generate a signal. However, there's no official length of the moving average, the number of periods back it should look to average them together to get that result. There's no particular value that's considered correct. There are different standard values. So in this case, it's going to run this backtest multiple times. It will start with a period of 3 for the shorter term moving average, and go up to a maximum of 18 in increments of 3. For the longer term moving average, it will start with a value of 10 and go up to a maximum of 100, incrementing, or in steps, of 10. This means that for the longer term moving average, everything needs to be calculated 10 times, and for the shorter term moving average, everything needs to be calculated, well, technically 7 times. So this would need to be done 11 times because it's inclusive of both sides, and this would need to be done 7 times, meaning that the entire backtest needs to be run 77 times inside the computer. Depending on the complexity of the system and the number of stocks you're testing and the number of periods you're looking back, this may either be executed very quickly or could potentially take a long time. Looking at some of the other options, we have a way to set stops on the position, which are rules that get you out of the position under certain circumstances. Then going here, we can see the trading logic itself for a buy order, which says if this moving average, the shorter term moving average, becomes greater than the longer term moving average, we enter a buy order using a market order with a default size that's good until canceled, which means we will go and buy the underlying stock no matter what the price is or other conditions are. Here this limits the number of simultaneous positions to 1, so we'll not add to a position if it receives more buy signals before sell signals or exit signals. Okay, I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to run this. It still is a fast calculation. Here we can see several different results. And view it on a chart. Thank you.